Trump just brought peace to the Middle East. He's already racked up 8 peace deals, trillions of dollars of investments in trade deals.
We have $18 trillion invested in this country. Nobody's ever had anything like it.
This is history in the making. No one else but President Donald Trump could do this. This is what peace through strength gets you. This is what a respected United States will bring around the world. It is a stabilizing force.
And we're reestablishing deterrence, whether that's at the border, whether it's through Golden Dome, what happened with Midnight Hammer and what Iran found out, those drug boats, and of course the Houthis opening up the shipping lanes. American strength is back on the world stage.
The world is back to looking at America as the leader. We have the peace through strength doctrine. We have the hostages at home. We are respected again. We are not seen as weak. Our adversaries know that they are to be on watch, and our allies know that we are there for them.
People know Donald Trump is going to do what he says he is going to do, whether it is Cuba, Iran, and Venezuelans.
We're witnessing a historic presidential legacy being written in real time. The only question now is, how big?
That is the question. How big? How historic are these times? How historic is this day and age, man? We are living in history right now, and it's just amazing to take in your awareness, to realize the part of history that we're living in right now. Trump is totally kicking butt, and so much stuff has happened over the last 2 days that, well, we got a couple things to talk about. Hey, Deb, yeah, this is Late Night with Jericho here. It's just when we can get things done, right? So today, there's a lot going on down in Mexico. Let me see if my meme's loaded up here. Well, first of all, here's to all of you. A toast to those who still have 100% human DNA. How about that for starters? That's the day and age we live in. We get to toast each other for having complete human DNA still. We didn't take the fake DNA. Hey, Jay, what's up, man? Hi, Deb, bye. Yeah, there's a bunch of just crazy stories, all right? So I'm going to just start with one and go with it here. We got the Mexico. Something happened in Mexico today. All of a sudden, there's cars on fire all over the place. I saw like some video of a running gun battle, looked like on an airfield or in some woods or something, or in a field or something like that along a road. And apparently what has happened is one of the drug lords got taken down by the military in Mexico. And I got that information from a Mexican television broadcast of it on YouTube. Mexican TV or something, not Mexican radio, Mexican TV. So I'm assuming that's the official story down in Mexico. And I guess this is normal knee-jerk behavior between cartels. You go light up a bunch of cars. All the footage that I saw of cars burning was vehicles being stopped. Everyone was unloaded out of the vehicle, and then it was like immediately just set on fire. And most of them were in positions in a roadway that would block the roadway. And you saw a plane burn in there, Jay? So I'm not seeing anybody getting hurt yet, other than the guy the Mexican cartel kingpin that got taken out. And I'm assuming he's dead. But there was a $15 million bounty on that guy's head. So we don't really know what's going on, but stuff is burning in Mexico. There's smoke going into the sky. There's tourists in the hotels freaking out. The airport looked totally chaotic, but not sure what was going on there. And it doesn't look like fake video footage like some of the Palestinian stuff looks. You know, it doesn't look like a movie crew, mainly because there's too much of it that they don't, there's plenty of footage. It isn't like they got the 20 seconds of footage that they just keep replaying. I'm seeing dozens of different videos of things like that. So, yeah, something's going on in Mexico. A lot of people in the chats are going, yeah, Trump, send our guys down there. And I'm thinking, that's the last thing we want to do right now. Something's going on. All them people waving Mexican flags at all our protests up in America. Go home, you know. You think Mexico's so great. Here's an instance where maybe your country needs you now. And let's just kind of wait and see what's going to happen over there. Trump has been making waves in the world, okay? Big waves. Like telling the New World Order to go pound sand and telling the European Union to join us in restoring our culture. So there's going to be a lot of resistance to that, and this whole Mexican thing could be something of a trap, you know. If we did send our guys into there right now, all them cartel armies are all fresh and stuff. I mean, they haven't been fighting open warfare, so if we knew that we were someday going to have to go in and clean that up, I'd let the cartels soften each other up for a little while, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, one wild one says they closed the airports. Hi, Elaine Miller. Yeah, it's crazy times. It's cool times. I mean, we're blessed to be alive right now. This is a fluid moment in history. I can feel it, you know. I've never seen anybody make such big waves before as Trump is doing, and make so much progress while doing so. We're leading the way. I ran across an interesting comment from Vladimir Putin recently. Vladimir Putin said Charlie Kirk's death was a disgusting atrocity. He died because he was defending traditional values. And pretty much that's what Marco Rubio was saying to the European Union, where our traditional values, our culture is disappearing because of the mass migration retardation that has obviously swept across the European countries, you know. It's no benefit to our cultures, and unless we do something about it, our cultures are going to vanish. And I think our culture here in America is very unique. It's worthy of an existence. It doesn't need to be wiped out. It's not bad. It's a net benefit for the world. And we should celebrate our culture here, along with the culture of the people that come here and stuff, because that's what makes American culture unique in that way. But we got to come around our national culture, the Constitution, the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy here, and celebrate in that. Jay, I saw a map also where the military was actively mapping their roadblocks, and there was roadblocks all over the place. Angela Rose just put out a video I just watched a little bit ago that was pretty informative about what was going on. She kind of tied together everything that busted out today and brought it all together and put a lot of good video together to show us what was going on down in Mexico. I think our state departments have made official declarations that you should shelter in place or get out of Mexico right now, because it's volatile. You know, Trump is not a dictator, and he can't go into Mexico and tell them what to do. And yeah, you're warned about this stuff when you go to Mexico. It could happen. And it's happening due to their government failures. It's a failure of government law and order is what's happening down there. And it didn't happen overnight. This is what happens when you let cartels take over sections of real estate, right? So that's interesting. The other conflict that's really heating up out in the world right now is Iran. Iran, I believe, is actively trying to push Islam out of their country. They're lighting mosques on fire in Iran. And we've gotten tales of grim, murders all over the place. Numbers are anywhere from 8,000 to 100,000 people dead in Iran, but we don't know anything. One thing about the Mexican thing is we're getting good footage out of it. There's streamers everywhere down in Mexico. Whereas this thing happened in Iran, we're left with 1 or 2 channels to show us what's going on in Iran. But Iran, the heritage religion of Iran is called Zoroastrian. And it's a branch of Christianity. I don't know all the details of it, of Zoroastrian theology, but it is a branch of Christianity. So I find it interesting that they are fighting against the Islamic government that they've had there. And I hope they win. I hope they push them out. Islam is a curse on any country that they invade, basically. And it's only due to our, I would have to say, suicidal desire to migrate them into our culture for some reason that allows them to do what they're doing to our country here. The other topics that happened in the last couple of days was we got a Supreme Court ruling on one of the tactics that Trump is using for tariffs was they called a foul on it, basically. But Trump is using a whole bunch of different tariff tactics to trying to even the level the playing field with international commerce. And this is one of the root reasons we needed a federal government originally, was to facilitate international trade. So if there is one thing that Trump, our president, should have the most power over to be able to control it, it should be international trade, and tariffs are an integral part of that toolbox that he needs to facilitate for that. And I've never seen a president in my lifetime so masterfully wield the economic power of America for our benefit and for the forces of good on the planet, and being able to stop wars just with our economic power, just with the threat of not being able to trade with America. Trump has been able to stop 8 wars. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Hey, Patriot Roy D, how's it going, man? I'm just rambling on here. Yeah, Jay, I stand with the Persians, man. They are a noble people. They go all the way back to the Bible. They're the same Persians from the book of Daniel, you know. They are a noble people. They are sons of Abraham, you know. They're not sons of Isaac, but they are sons of Abraham. They're one of the nations of people that God installed into the earth, man. When God promised Abraham that he was many nations would come from him. It wasn't just the Jews. It wasn't just Israel. It was the Persians. It was all of them, you know, basically. So it's pretty interesting from that historical standpoint of what's going on in Iran. And what is going on in Iran is we just sent our second aircraft carrier group there. So we're going to, I don't think there's 2 there right now, but any day now there should be 2 aircraft carriers there. And I'd like to see Trump send Israel in to finish them off, because basically what's happening is the surrender of Hamas in Gaza is happening. I'd like to see Israel go in and finish the job off and do it do it without showing animosity like they obviously have in the past, man. There is, Tucker Carlson's bringing a lot of the Israel problem, dilemma to the forefront. There's a lot we don't know about Israel. I mean, there are some bad people within the Israeli military. The whole Epstein thing is revolving around Israel. And Israel's going to have to, either, I don't know what's going to have to happen there. Yeah, Trump does live by the art of the deal. That's exactly true. And that's why his standpoint is so different from our perspective. His perspective is, I got to make deals with these people. And that's why he spoke of the people in the Epstein files the way he did. That's why he just said that it was sad. That, what was sad? He just said something, oh, that was sad. It's all sad, but that's the way he looks at it. He's got to make deals with Bill Clinton and Mitch McConnell and a lot of scumbaggy people. But it's good that we have a guy that can do that. He can cut deals with people that we may not necessarily be all buddy with. Yeah, we have about half of our navies over there, right? I watched the Tucker Huckabee interview yesterday. I thought Huckabee did a good job of just presenting his side of the story, and kind of showed where Tucker can get a little unwound a little too quick sometimes too, About 3 days ago, Tucker had on another guest who was a Palestinian Christian that has lived in the town of Bethlehem, where the shepherds saw the angels proclaim the birth of Christ from. This is a group of indigenous people that this guy claims have lived there since the angels announced the birth of the Messiah, right outside of Bethlehem, to a bunch of shepherds. So, I find it hard to believe that one indigenous people has existed in that land for 2,000 years now. And, not to be racist or anything, but just prejudiced. I mean, if the Palestinians got one flaw, it's that they exaggerate a lot. They go overboard a lot. And that guest could have been overstating a lot of the facts that he was stating. And some of the facts that he was stating were that the Israeli army has committed heinous atrocities on the local people there in Palestine. Heinous, where they would, literally massacre a family of 12 people. Things like that. So, yeah, I don't know. There is a lot going on, and it's interesting watching it. And it's on the other side of the earth, and it doesn't bother me, I'm here. We still have peace in my neighborhood. So really, from the perspective of what does it mean tomorrow morning when I wake up and go want to do something, it really means nothing. It's on the other side of the world. And we got the best guy I've ever seen in my life calling the shots. So I think that's pretty cool. There's what's going on in Iran right now. More power to you, people of Iran. Gain your freedom. Govern yourselves. do a good job. Okay, other things that have happened. Did we talk about the Supreme Court ruling? Trump's going to pull out some other tariffs. There is a tool chest of options that Trump has. And basically, the decision that the Supreme Court handed down really got the libtards all happy because they thought they busted Trump again. They were like thinking, we got him this time. But no, Trump, by the afternoon that day, was already instituting a worldwide tariff of 15%. He started off at 10%, and then he raised it to 15% shortly thereafter. The three justices that were like cool was Clarence Thomas, Brett Kavanaugh, and Samuel Alito. And apparently in Kavanaugh's dissent decision, because those were the three that voted to just let him have the tariffs the way he had them, Kavanaugh kind of gave him a little bit of a roadmap of what would in the future go well with the Supreme Court if Trump decided to continue on the tariff game plan there. And I think he should. I think it's a good thing. It's leveling the playing fields. These other countries have been ripping us off for a long, long time, man. Okay, and then, another act. Barack Obama, the first illegitimate president to serve in America, was talking about UFOs. And then Trump said in a Air Force One press gaggle that Obama may have released secret information. He's not allowed to do that. So the next day, Trump declares on Truth Social that he's going to call for the release of the UFO files. And that's exactly what he should have done. The UFO files. That meme has nothing to do with the UFO files, but I think it's hilarious. I don't think I have a meme on the UFO files. Oh, this guy kind of looks like a UFO. So hats off to Clarence Thomas, Brett Kavanaugh, and Samuel Alito for being the patriot judges that you are for this country. And curses to you other supposedly Supreme Court justices who are looking an awful lot like you're being influenced by foreigners on the highest court of our country. It does appear that there might be some type of a foreign influence in the Supreme Court right now. And I'm supposing that's one thing Tulsi Gabbard will be getting to the bottom of here throughout the next 3 years. Another topic that happened was... Oh, here's another good meme. Here, let's not look at Mitch. There we go. Make Iran Persia again. Yeah, another thing that happened was somebody got shot down at Mar-a-Lago last night. There was a guy who showed up at Mar-a-Lago. He got inside the gate by following another car that the gate opened for, and he kind of scooted in behind this other car. He was immediately stopped at the gate, on the inside of the gate, and I guess he got out of the car with a shotgun and a gas can. And they told him to put everything down, and they put the gas can down, and then leveled the shotgun at the cops that were inside the gate there. So if that's not a suicide by cop, I don't know what is. You could get suicide by a Walmart doorman by walking up with a shotgun and a gas can. That was a definite bad idea, and the guy paid the ultimate price for it. You just can't be that stupid in America, or you will get shot if that's the case. So we're just finding out about that. The dude is dead. Threat has been neutralized. One less Democrat voter, possibly. I don't know. Probably. And other than that, there's nothing to that story. President Trump was not down at Mar-a-Lago when this all happened. And it just looks like a suicide mission by this guy for some reason, you know. People are snapping. Times are tough. There is a lot of chaos and confusion, and more people are gonna be snapping. Right now, there's primaries happening. I don't believe that the SAVE Act is in play right now. So we are having potentially rigged elections right now, again, for the primaries for the upcoming November election right now. I'm not sure where it stands right now. I don't know if the SAVE Act is dead in the water at this point, or if it still needs, we're waiting on the Senate to vote for it. If any of you guys have information on that, I would love to hear it. I kind of searched for that all day and didn't find a peep about Mitch McConnell trashing it or anything. And now we're in a temporary government shutdown, and I'm not sure what that means, because is the Congress on vacation now? Are they still working through while they're after the partial government to shut down, or what, man? Yeah, Jay. I wish the Martians would take Obama. So Trump has some options coming up with the SAVE Act thing. He has made a statement that he does not. There is like a thing where Trump can just call an emergency for the election. Stephen Gardner had a guest on today named Jovan Pulitzer, who thoroughly investigated the vote cheating from 2020, became somewhat of a celebrity. And Jovan Pulitzer explained that there is a way for Trump to just declare a failure of a system of government, and that we can just redo the whole elections. And he may or may not call that by November. We'll have to see. If nothing happens, the dragnet is totally set up to catch any cheating that's going to occur. We are way more educated and mobilized as far as elections go now. I've taken classes. I've been a poll watcher, observer, worker, all the different positions. And compared to 2020, we have a network of an army of poll watching people on the ground here, and people who are more versed on how the whole system works too. So whatever happens, happens. I mean, we're in God's hands here. We have Trump and his team at the top calling the shots. How bad can it go, right? In the meantime, the Babylon people, the Babylon is falling. They're falling. We've got Maduro out of Venezuela. We're finding the fraud. Georgia is hiring lawyers because the FBI is crooked down in Georgia. They tipped them off when the FBI went in for the boxes. There's 50 missing boxes now of ballots down in Georgia. So that's going to be an ongoing battle. It's going to take months to work through the legal system, but it's happening, and it wasn't happening a month ago. So that battle's up. Information just came out on Nevada's election today. Totally rigged to a factor of like 10 of the difference between Joe Biden and Trump in Nevada. There is 10 times that amount of votes that were crooked in some way or another in Nevada also. So that's the case in Georgia. We're going to find that's the case in many states here. Ongoing battle. We got Nick Shirley in California showing us a lot of the problems with the homeless thing, and the illegal voting in California. We had Times Square in New York was full of Muslims praying to Allah. Clogged the whole street up. There was hundreds of them there. And the speaker before them came right out and said, "We're taking over New York." And everyone started yelling, "Allahu Akbar." So that's happening, but that's in New York. And they're going to have to reap what they sow. And it might be really cool to have this little goldfish bowl happening, right, for the whole nation to watch a total communist takeover in a fish bowl right there on New York while we go into our voting in November. Like a little TV station that shows nothing but what's wrong with communism, and it's anyone can go look at it. And make sure you see what's happening there before you vote for a Democrat out here. One guy in Texas got caught voting 3 times with different IDs. That's one way of doing it. The Jovan Pulitzer segment of Stephen Gardner's video today was really informative. And technically, some of these things are not crimes that you can't prosecute them. A lot of these crimes he was calling oopsies. Like when you count a ballot twice, that's not a crime, that's an oopsie. So the system is set up totally squirrely so that it can be manipulated. It's squirrely by design because they wanted to cheat in them, but that era is ending. And we got a review of the 2020 election going on, not with the FBI, not with Pam Bondi, but with Tulsi Gabbard. And that puts everything in a whole nother dimension. And we didn't even talk about Epstein or the CIA or anything, or military intelligence. I think we talked about in that last video. What's in the CIA Epstein files? What's in the military's Epstein files? What's in Israel's Epstein files? How come they don't share that with us? If Tucker brought that up, I was like, good question, Tucker. What's in Israel's Epstein files? I'd love to see that. But there's repercussions. People are getting arrested worldwide, Prince Andrew being the main one, and not one arrested in America yet. So I think there's going to be a flood of arrests at some point or another. Okay, Jesse Jackson died recently. And I'd just like to remind you what a piece of shit Jesse Jackson was, okay? I mean, we all want to have warm, fuzzy feelings about people, but Jesse Jackson was a guy, he was marching around with Martin Luther King, and there was some shady stuff going on with Martin Luther King and women and stuff there, even though we all want to think good, warm thoughts on Martin Luther King. He wasn't everything you think he was. And in 1969, Life magazine interviewed Jesse Jackson. And in that article, he admitted that he worked at a restaurant and he hated white people and he would spit in the food that he knew was going out to the white people. So just telling you about what he said and what Life magazine reported. Jesse Jackson then later ran for president, and during that time, he said that he wasn't telling the truth to Life magazine. So there's a guy running for the president. Was he lying then, or was he lying now? So that's the problem about liars. You don't know when they're telling the truth. Was he lying when he said he spit in the food, or was he lying when he said he was lying about spitting in the food? Let's see, I think we talked about those biolabs last video. Oh, one bright, happy moment here is hospitals. Like, I don't know. I was watching somebody show all the hospitals that have stopped doing transition surgeries on minors, okay? And I thought, oh, okay, there'll be 2 or 3, right? No, the screen just started scrolling. I saw at least 24 hospitals go by that were doing transition surgeries on minors. And I was shocked. And it got me wondering, how many children has this procedure been done on now? If that came to be almost common practice at these hospitals, where they were just mutilating these minor children in that way, how many thousands of children are victims of that now? And there is one person who had that surgery done on them when they were a minor, and they are now trying to detransition, and they are suing one of these hospitals, and I'm not sure if they're about to win or if they have already won, and there was an award given for millions of dollars. So this is how things work through the legal system in our country. This is how you shut down a practice, other than passing a law that says they can't do this, which I thought we had. I thought we had laws that you cannot gender mutilate, genetically, or no, mutilate their gender. You can't do that in America. I thought we had laws, but apparently not, because these hospitals were doing it. And they will be sued into oblivion, hopefully, and that will stop the practice from happening. Because no matter what, there is absolutely no health benefits to doing that procedure on a human being, other than a total curse on the rest of their humanity. So anyways, if we white people are so awful, why do you keep moving to our neighborhoods? That is the question. I'm tired of this white hate thing, man, for crying out loud, you people. Here's where I don't want to live, man. Some nice people put a mural up for Irina Zarutska here. Predictably, a mural on Delancey Street that was dedicated to Irina Zarutska was vandalized. That's what you got right there. That is what you got. Yeah, Jesse was a grifter. Yeah, Priscilla, look at, we also not only have the fishbowl of New York City, we have the fishbowl of Virginia right now too, that just elected an entirely communist government into their state. There's a video. Okay, if she successfully ran over the ICE agent, they would all be celebrating his death. Look who found the video. Look who was laughing at Charlie Kirk. See that again. Never ain't good. Thinking Charlie Kirk getting shot was funny. That's what I've been praying for, Patriots. I have been praying that their foot falls in the snare that they set for us. And when I saw that, I was really happy that God answered my prayers. I hope that's a real video and not some AI junk. What's this one? If Renee Nicole Good had been killed by an illegal alien, it would not have even made the news. And that's obvious. It's completely obvious because Laken Riley, Rachel Marin, Jocelyn Ungary, Dakara Thompson, Maria Guardo, Irina Zarutska, Victoria Eileen Harwell, Hallie Hagelson, Brady Heiling, Mafalda Thayer, Lauren Bump, Samantha Daly, Camellia Williams, Mandy Ferguson Weyant, to name a few, have been totally ignored by the mainstream media. All people who have died through the flawed system of justice in this country and illegal aliens. Just to document that. And imagine how much propaganda it took to convince women that this is oppressive. Yeah, Jay, we're getting hammered here right now. I'm in southeast Pennsylvania. It's snowing. It's snowing like gangbusters right now. I'm gonna have to shovel in the morning. Okay, there's another little tidbit of information that's leaking out slowly but surely. A while back, President Trump was suing J.P. Morgan for blocking his bank accounts. He's in the process of suing them right now. He's filed a lawsuit. And in the response to the lawsuit, lawyers for J.P. Morgan admit that Trump's bank accounts were taken down after January 6th. So, yep, they did that to a sitting president while he was the sitting president. Kind of hard to believe, kind of hard that just happened and got slid under the rug while Joe Biden started going gangbusters after J6ers, while the whole psychological operation of J6 was launched on America. J.P. Morgan was shutting down the bank accounts of our president. That's really hard to believe that J.P. Morgan would still be allowed to be in business after something like that. Really amazing. We are still trying to get our hands on Greenland for military reasons, I do believe. I also believe that the people of Greenland would be very happy participants in our constitutional republic. So we'll just have to see. But Greenland's big ugly girlfriend, Denmark, doesn't want it. Greenland's big ugly girlfriend, Denmark, is speaking for Greenland right now. We're not really hearing from Greenland. Oh, is that so, Jay? Epstein was tight with J.P. Morgan. Huh. Imagine that. We're waiting, Priscilla. It's coming. We know it's there, you know. And in the spiritual realm, Priscilla, we're there. We know we got it. Or God has got it. And we get to just be the people here that witness it. And, you know, preferably be the conduit that God does that through. It's kind of how the thing operates here. Evil spirits operate through humans, and so does God. I just thought that was a lot of stuff for the last 2 days. It was an exciting 2 days, I tell you. Oh, here we go. This is President Trump. Just wanted to point out some of the legendary accomplishments of this president. That effective today, America will no longer require 72 jabs for our beautiful, healthy children. We are moving to a far more reasonable schedule, where all children will only be recommended to receive vaccinations for 11 of the most serious and dangerous diseases. And Robert Kennedy Jr. has banned the use of mercury in all vaccines, period. Why there was mercury in vaccines to begin with is, I'm bewildered by that. And that is one reason why I do not trust experts. RFK Jr. has also totally inverted the USDA recommended food pyramid. So we're being shown a whole new way to feed ourselves. There's just a reminder that The names will not be redacted on Judgment Day. I think this is a warning from the scriptures. It is better to have a millstone tied about your neck and thrown into the sea than you hurt one of these little ones. These demons are going down, Patriots. They're imploding everywhere. The Portland riots have turned into just a clown show that's there every night. It's kind of like a reality TV show in a way. All these protests have turned into like a reality TV show, I think. And they are seriously losing steam. With the exception of one humongous protest that happened in LA like a week or two ago. And it was all of the Iranian people that live in the Los Angeles area. They flooded out into the streets of LA and were marching down a street, and somebody ran a U-Haul truck through the crowd. And I don't know, somehow miraculously didn't kill anybody. And the driver was taken into custody. I saw footage of it, and he was not like just racing the truck in there. So he was driving into the crowd quickly. The people were getting out of the way. And the guy was arrested before he was beaten. It could have potentially beaten to death by the crowd. And it also did not break up the Iranians who were marching for the freedom of their homeland, Iran. So I thought that was an interesting story. But these demons, they're going to go down. They don't breed. They don't reproduce. They recruit. And the death sentence is there. God says, death for pedophiles. Kelly gave $100 million to the anti-ICE protests. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Justice coming for them, Fanone and Dunn and Byrd. It's coming for them. It will come. We will have a victory there, and our eyes will see it, Priscilla. And yeah, our government is funding the protests that are going against the people. A huge majority of Americans of all walks and all political parties wants secure elections and have voter ID, yet the Congress can't pass it. Not one there is one Democrat that voted for it, but there's a couple of Republicans that voted against it. It has not been passed yet. I'll believe it when I see it, but that's the state we're in. I'm saying the Congress is rogue. This is a lot of the same Congress that certified the rigged election of 2020, which we're finding out was totally rigged, just like every person that was standing there at the Capitol was saying. But every member of Congress voted to certify that election and not investigate it, not take a pause, not take a second look at it to make sure that all the states were following the election laws. And then for 4 years, 5 years, our courts were used against us illegally to shut down all dissent about the rigged election. to go and prosecute all people involved in the J6 thing and the president himself. It was the whole justice system was weaponized. So it's our team now, and hopefully they're going to do a good and thorough job of weeding out this corruption from our country. And when they're done, we're going to vote more people in that are going to continue to do it. And then we're going to doge everything. And then we're going to doge our states. And then we're going to doge our counties and our cities. And we're going to get a good government here, people. That's my pipe dream. That's what I'm hoping for. Kid Rock isn't allowed in California. Really? Kid Rock and RFK did like an exercise video. I didn't see that, but how cool is that, you know? The head of the USDA, the head of the Health and Human Services is 75 years old and he's doing pull-ups on a bar and push-ups and stuff. Thanks, Priscilla. I'll trim the beard up a little bit. It was getting chaotic. It was getting really bad. Yeah, how cool is that? I don't know if you guys ever watched Ted Nugent. He's pretty cool too. He does some videos about how cool America is and all the things that are wrong with it. We got a lot of media out there. That's what's so cool. And the left just doesn't have that. They got these dumb memes and stuff. I see some of the memes that the left puts out there. They're not even funny unless you got Trump derangement syndrome, you know. Unless you think anything, you know, like that. That's a left meme right there. It's like that's not funny, and actually makes Trump look kind of cool, but they think that's making fun of Trump right there. and then they go out and vote for people like this. While they ignore this. Where did they find out about Haiti? That's coming up this week, Patriots. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton are supposed to finally testify before Congress. I don't know if it's going to be closed doors, open doors, who knows what. But the Clintons were the head of the Clinton Foundation. And they collected $13 billion for Haiti after a doubleheader nuclear or volcanic and hurricane disaster hit Haiti. And they basically built a couple of prototype houses and the rest of the money disappeared. And then Hillary's daughter there, I can't remember, Chelsea had a $10 million wedding. $10 million dream wedding that Ghislaine Maxwell attended. So I don't know. We're going to see what's going to happen here. I'm excited for the future, Patriots. Yeah, the silverback Trump. Silverback Trump. So I'm excited for this week. I can't wait to see what happens if we're going to pass the SAVE Act. Jay, you're having your election down there without a SAVE Act, so expect monkey business, I guess. And I think Sean said they're having the primary elections are happening up there. 3 weeks of voting for the primaries. So you can totally cheat on them. And without the SAVE Act. So I don't know. We're going to either see cheating, we're going to catch it in the states that are watching for it, but I don't think they're going to catch any cheating in Chicago. who's watching? They can't even organize enough Republicans to get together there to go do a flag wave and stuff, man. And the Republicans got it rigged against themselves there too. They're running too many candidates against each other, and they got to correlate. We got to unite the clans, patriots. I think that's a line out of Braveheart. There comes a time when we all got to admit we all hate the same government, you know. Even at the Portland riots they hate the government, we hate the government, but they're yelling at the cops that are performing all the government. We're yelling at all the legislators in DC, but we're both hating on the same thing. They got us divided. Some of us can think through that and use our logic and reasoning skills to see that, but other people just aren't going to see it. And they're going to just show up with ammunition to murder you with words and take you down instead of uniting the clans and just getting it done. Getting it done. And voter ID is one of them topics. Even both sides agree. Pass the SAVE Act. You should have ID to vote. But they don't pass it. They won't pass it. They won't. Trump's going to have to go to alternative methods on that. So I guess so, Priscilla. Does that mean we're getting old now? Ah, man. I never thought it was going to happen. I don't feel old. But, I mean, in my brain, I don't feel old. It's been an exciting last couple years. What a roller coaster ride it's been. I have no regrets of anything. None whatsoever. Everything that happened made me better for tomorrow, you know, is what I'm thinking. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So what can you do now? Now we'll have to just wake up and see what happened in Mexico and Iran and Israel and Gaza and Ukraine. We'll have to see what happened tomorrow, and I'll bet it's just going to be, I got to get outside and shovel the driveway, right? All right, 10 anti-ice in Portland tonight. Cool. Tommy left early. Jay, there's another gal I was watching her Portland channel. It was called Mrs. Axtell. I don't know if you've seen her, but and everyone there is talking about this guy Bach, and I'm like, who's this Bach guy? And everyone's saying they hate Bach or they like Bach. And apparently he's like a Muslim and lives in Canada. And I don't know all the drama, but that was I didn't watch Portland for 3 or 4 days, and all of a sudden there's a whole new character, you know. It's like watching Gilligan's Island, and all of a sudden somebody new shows up on the island, you know. This guy named Bach. And then I'm in Mrs. Axtell's stream, and this Bach guy comes in. So I'm like, whoa, here comes Bach. I'm going to ask him some stupid questions. And then Mrs. Axtell dumped her stream that right when he came in. So never got to find out the story of Bach. But he sounds like a divisive character to the crowd out there. So, which is exactly what they do. That's all they got. That's all they got. That's all they can do. Those sad little trolls. Sad little trolls. All right, that's it for tonight, Patriots. Jericho late night. It is time to unite the clans. And I'll get back to you guys when we got more to talk about. Love you all. Pray for us. Pray for everybody involved here. Pray for the Trump team. Pray for the cabinet, the military, the people, the good people of Mexico, the good people of Iran, the good people of Ukraine and Russia who are suffering through this, and pray that we end this misery on the face of the earth. Oh, Bach said that stuff? Well, then he's a goofball. And he needs to be spanked or something. Yeah, we gotta pray for everybody, man. We all got issues, that's for sure. We all gotta learn. We all gotta learn a lot. So it isn't just whether or not my ankles hurt this morning or my health. I gotta still continue to grow my brain so that I can wrap it around what's going on here, right? And you guys too. All right, Patriots, I love you. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is Jericho, over and out.